A very warm welcome back to your latest industry recap. A new Airbus A350 for Etihad Airways, Boeing 787 problems and 737 upgrades. Southwest are about to embark on a major retrofit of their entire fleet as part of what is a new era for the US carrier. The retrofit, slated to commence on May 1, will see the company retrofit over 800 aircraft by December 31. Yes, take a moment, take all the time you need, 800 planes by the end of the year, to ensure that they are ready to offer Southwest's new era to passengers. In an exclusive interview with the Senior Vice President of Technical Operations, he confirmed the plans to Aviation Week. At the heart of the changes will be the installation of premium seating and an assigned seat model, a move away from the traditional one we saw Southwest champion for decades. The assigned seats will be sold from the third quarter of this year and look to be operational by the first quarter of 2026, assuming there are no delays in the launch of this process. Southwest's undertaking is expected to be a colossal one, with anywhere between 7 and 10 aircraft getting the makeover every single night in hangars across the United States. It is a massive undertaking, with hundreds upon hundreds of aircraft expected to be involved. It definitely represents one of the industry's most ambitious cabin retrofit programs, especially when you factor in what has to be done and the time at which we're seeing this unfold. While most retrofits will include more changes than what Southwest is implementing, again, I'll reiterate, the sheer scale of their endeavours is what makes this more striking, with so many planes equipped with changed seating every single night. The retrofit program is ultimately now just one endeavour that the airline is seeking to launch as it moves into a new era. Southwest's new era, which it has publicly discussed pretty often, emphasises long-term profitability and sustainability in an evolving industry. The carrier is more than aware that a lot has changed in recent years, and especially since its birth. And because of this, they no longer feel that their previously established strategy will hold up as companies advance. Therefore, the US carrier is proceeding with the major undertaking and investment of things such as premium seating to generate additional revenue, while abandoning an open seating model. These two types of flying were pivotal to the airline's launch and have really been a strategy since birth. However, Southwest is axing this through fundamental research and analysis of what could be best ahead. Analysts who have studied the popular US airline believe revenue can be increased quite a fair bit, and decisions like what are being made will help a lot. Other notable decisions that were made include the launch of 24/7 operations. Here it is pretty basic, you are just utilizing your assets for the largest amount of time as possible. Obviously, the longer time the aircraft spend on the ground, the less money they are making. Over to the next story, where Etihad Airways has taken delivery of its newest Airbus A350 as part of continued expansion efforts. The Abu Dhabi carrier confirmed the news, stating that this is its 6th one to join the fleet. Following a successful delivery flight from Toulouse, the home of Airbus, the A350-1000 will play an integral role in the future of Etihad Airways' long-haul network. In the upcoming months, the airline will look to leverage the capabilities of this plane to put it into service on routes towards the likes of Atlanta, which will become the newest gateway to the United States. That new service I speak of is part of those expansion efforts, where we will see overall 16 new routes launched this year alone, and further announcements may very well follow. While the newest delivery of the A350-1000 is obviously going to steal headlines just as it's done in this video alone, it is genuinely part of a new era for the company labelled Journey 2030. Over the next 5 years, Etihad Airways says it will develop a strategy that will look towards long-term success, and they intend to do so in a sustainable manner. They say under Journey 2030, they will extend their global footprint by adding more destinations than ever before, and increasing frequency to markets that demand more seats but maybe haven't attained that. The airline hopes to be flying to over 125 destinations as part of these expansion efforts. The growth to be achieved thanks to the positioning of Abu Dhabi, its key hub, which is perfect for reaching a wide array of locations. Additionally, Etihad wants to double its fleet to over 160 planes, so adding jets like the A350-1000 will be huge. Despite these ambitious attempts, it doesn't mean Etihad will sail smoothly through the next 5 years and achieve all of its growth targets without hiccups along the way. Etihad conducted conducted a very similar expansion of its business in the early 2010s. While there was a large focus on investing in new aircraft and routes, they would also go on to invest in airlines, and this would turn out horribly. These wrong decisions would plunge the company into billions worth of losses and force a very lengthy turnaround effort, including a massive scaling back of the business. While Journey 2030 is huge, Journey 2030 is exciting, it really is Etihad still rebuilding from those difficult periods at the end of the 2010s and certainly into the early 2020s. They need to make sure they get it right. Over to the final story, Air Astana is being forced to postpone the launch of flights to the United States due to 787 delays. The delayed delivery of next-generation jets is becoming all too common for airlines around the world, including Kazakhstan's flag carrier. Air Astana was previously expected to launch a non-stop service to the United States by the end of this calendar year, utilizing what was going to be its newest asset in the 787 Dreamliner. That target, however, will not be met now. According to fresh comments from the airline's CEO, those plans must be significantly pushed back as the delivery is further delayed. The company now expects the delivery of aircraft to come in mid-2026, and then after crew familiarization, a formal launch to a city in the USA. The delay does represent 6 months plus, which permits no further hiccups in the scheduling. We know you can be 1 week out from delivery and a plane is delayed. Look no further than Wizz Air with their A321XLR, and given the industry's trajectory and also last few years, it is impossible to really predict if the revised timeframes will be met until quite literally Air Astana has the plane in its hands in Kazakhstan. The commitment to the 787 on their end is by no means huge, I've got to reiterate that. However, it is still absolutely fundamental, as the 787's capabilities are going to be leveraged to meet emerging demand to try and evolve their market share. I'll get into a little bit more about their targeted growth later in this segment, and while much of the delay in acquiring the 787 focuses in on its highly anticipated US connectivity, there's also been an impact on service towards Japan, where routes have been postponed. Now, as for the all-important network growth, well, the next 5 years are expected to be very important for Air Astana as they navigate emerging competition and strive to continue evolving their market share. The company highlighted its intent to grow its fleet quite considerably over the coming years, with the ambition to hit 80 planes by the end of 2028. However, these ambitions equally come with their many unknowns as the global supply chain crisis persists. The actual ability to bring on these next-gen planes I talk about on time is more challenging as each month passes. While Air Astana can therefore outline its plans for fleet growth, this may not be achieved on time, not necessarily due to, say, circumstances on their part, but factors outside of their control. 33 aircraft are present across the group's mainline division, 5 of which are grounded at the time of recording for maintenance-related reasons, and it really highlights just how important the 787 arrival will be for the business in the future as they look to significantly increase their overall reach. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. It is greatly appreciated. If you have any thoughts, you're more than welcome to drop them down below in the comments. Please take care, do be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.
And we'll fly.